Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with DVD. How you doing? Come on in. This is going to be my episode recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like the video as you enter the house. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Share the video. Why? Because sharing is caring. Remember, I am still taking up money for my godson. My Cash App will be in my description under my banner. And also on my community wall, I have a GoFundMe listed about my daughter's little boyfriend's family who passed away in a fire. He passed away as well. His brother and his grandfather. So keep them uplifted. Keep my godson uplifted. Keep my daughter's friend uplifted. And let's get into the video, guys. Well, speaking of generous giving, we have Shamia, and we're at the hall. Isn't that the name of her house? And everybody's supposed to be meeting up at the hall to send those products to the Caribbean. Okay, so we have Kelly. She arrives and she brings water, and Shamia is outside with her daughter in the garage, and she says, Mom, I can still wear some of this stuff. And Shamia's like, no, baby, you can give it away. And when you give, you receive. A lot of people took issue with that. It is kind of supposed to be how it works, but I do understand what Shamil was saying. But I do understand what the people were saying too, because they said sometimes you give and you don't get anything in return. Are you giving to get something in return, or are you giving because that's what you want to do? And when I give, I don't give to get something in return. But I tell you what, the friends made me realize, even if you just get a jolly feeling from giving and not just receiving something physical, you still give selfishly. And I was like, how is that? And then it made sense to me, because when I give, I do feel a certain sense of just enjoyment and refreshing, and like something that just feels good in my spirit. So I do understand both sides there. Well, and the next thing, here comes Pitty Britty. And Pitty Britty, she comes up with two. Now, people are saying it's 6 rolls. I'm going to give her, because that's my favorite pack to get, because that's Carnell, baby. Those 2 packs that she had was my favorite packs. So I think they are the 9-roll packs, because that's what I normally get. So I'm going to say 2 9-roll packs of toilet paper. Drew sent bags of food from Aldi's. Allegedly, PORSHA gave a check, and I didn't see what Angela gave. All I know is whatever Pitty Britty gave, it was more pitiful than everybody else. Now, I know that these women must have a Sam's Club membership. Somebody must have a Sam's Club membership. They could have went around there and got a bunch of shit in bulk together if they didn't want to do that. I'm pretty sure they had about $9,000. And $9,000 can get you a ton of shit at warehouse stores. Trust me, I know. I filled my house during the panic with $600. So imagine what about $10,000 could have done. They could have gotten bulk rolls of toilet paper, like with 40 roll packs in it. Bulk rolls of paper towels, 24 roll packs of bulk. Because you could use switch and swap on. Look at me telling them what they could have done. You can do switch and swap on drinks and potato chips and dry fruit that you don't have to refrigerate. Dehydrated fruit, dehydrated popcorn and all that type of stuff that lasts for a very long time. And I just was with anybody. I wasn't impressed with anybody's giving with except for Shamil. So then we had a scene with PORSHA and Drew. Now people are dragging the hell out of Drew about that wig, but I think maybe the air had gotten to it because the wig did look good online. PORSHA, that show ain't got naked hair. Yes, the fuck it was. That goes to show you about the quality of the hair. Didn't they say Drew said it was? Well, then it was just the PORSHA. That damn PORSHA, no, she could lie. She is so used to getting her way with the production. It's amazing to me how she has lasted as long as she has on this show. And I think I think Andy did it to her. I'm going to blame Andy for this mess. Because PORSHA was trying to give it to Drew. You know, she's like, well, let me tell you, girl, you know, I know you dating somebody else in the group. And if it wasn't Dennis, then you could have told me it was, you know, his friend, Black. Now, mind you, they at the tea shop and they getting tea. So Drew was ordering her tea and they tried to bring her some black tea. Because, you know, she said her throat was messed up, but she wanted tea and lemon and ginger to help the hoarseness in her voice. And she's like, well, now you were going tit for tat. You know, me and Dennis didn't have anything going on, but you decided that you wanted to film with Brown. Well, that was just a chance meeting between, because that was Shamil's meeting. And I just happened to pop up. Now, PORSHA, do you think you're talking to yourself? Everybody ain't as dumb as you. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all that Petty Britty had enough nerves. Well, I am having the rest of it sent over. But we can see that on the next episode, she didn't have shit sent over. Because she pulled up in her Rolls Royce and Shamil said that we didn't see it. This is me after me seeing the preview. So, Drew, back to the scene with Drew and PORSHA. So, PORSHA is sitting there, like I said, gaslighting Drew, doing the thing that she's used to doing. So, she brings up Black, and then Drew said, no, he's my friend. And we worked on this project together. But you don't see me throwing out names like Future. Future? I don't even know Future. See? You got caught up in your own web of bullshit. And see, you weren't expecting somebody to be able to give it back to you, what you put out in the atmosphere. Now, girl, like many other content creators have noticed, and I'm about to throw it out there as well. When you have been getting away with accusations, I don't understand how it is that you or Giselle Bryant haven't faced any consequences. Because when y'all went on girls trip, y'all accused Candace of stealing that Casa Azul. Y'all had it was 3 black ladies there and the rest was Caucasian, and then those Latino ladies. And then y'all accused the only other black woman on the trip of stealing. Do y'all know how that makes it look? Everything that this woman touches has some element of very dangerous lies involved in it. Maybe that's why her and Giselle get them along so well, because those are buddies, baby. So anyway, when Drew was giving it back to her and she wasn't used to it, the first thing she wants to do is start packing up her shit, getting ready to go. And then I wouldn't have told her to stay, because, you know, Drew was still trying to talk to her for a little hot second there. Then she gets in confession. Dennis the one who told me about Black. Was I supposed to say something about that? If I was Dennis, I would give my baby, because they rich people, especially Dennis, I would take my baby, put her in the car, and I wouldn't have anything to do with this lady, because you are messing up different deals that you could be doing. People are seeing how well you did with this app. Porsha had enough nerve to tell Drew that her whole vibe was combative. You, the person that has took down someone and drugged them by their hair, beat somebody up in the alley, got kicked in the hoo-ha because you were meddling, is calling somebody combative. Trying to hit somebody in top of their head with a boom mic. This is the wide grin heifer that's calling somebody combative. Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. And Drew told her, you who is putting all these things off on me that are not true. I'm going through a divorce. If I was doing the same thing to you, then there'd be a problem. Oh, well, I'm getting ready to leave. She done packed up and getting ready to walk out the door. That's the tea. Drew, thank you for the tea. Yeah, that's what happened. We sick of Porsha. Yeah, you go ahead and walk away. That's what you do best. I'm beginning to understand why Simon is leaving you. And Shamia as well. Well, hey, when you're right, you're right. Now, in my normal days of securing womanhood, I would say, now, Drew, you wrong for that, because why we got to throw up pics, put a D in front of it? But in this case, befitting, because what was she doing in these marriages? Did she ever? Her maturity level is stunted. Okay, because I think if she had an adult maturity level, I think that she would understand that relationships come with conflict, and it's about how you resolve the conflict. And even with this group of women, and as long as she's been on this show, if we really want to think about it, she's never resolved conflict without getting physical or wanted to get physical. But so her emotional maturity level, in order to keep this gig, has given her the ability to walk out of scenes. And every time she walk out of scene without resolving something, they should dock her pay. Because we need to know if you can resolve an issue without putting your hands on someone and getting physical. Is that what you're teaching your daughter? Clock that T. So then we have Kelly with her girls and that ugly ass dog. And so they decide to, she tells them that she won't be going with them for the first day of school. And they're okay with it, except for the fact that who's going to do it? And we have Uncle Lamont. So I'm sitting up here thinking initially that Uncle Lamont was a real uncle. I said, oh, they do favor. And kind of find out that this is a dude that they employ. Well, he decides, since he has known old boy with the wide shoulders and big hips for a while, that he would call wide shoulders big hips. So, hey, wide shoulders, hey, big hips, you girls want to see you. What are we doing here? And wide shoulders, big hips said, I cannot. I can't do these people. You know what I would do if I was Kelly? I would literally put in the court documents. Since he didn't want to see my children off for the last day of school and he didn't want to even talk to the mediator, what is his plan for the children? And if he does not have a plan for my children, then they will become my children. My, capital M, capital Y, small word, big meaning. My children. Therefore, you don't have to have anything to do with them. If you're willing to sign over your rights, we can do this. And you don't have to, even when you sign over your rights, you don't have to get them anything financially. I will take care of that. Because you ain't doing shit no way. Boom. And that's how you fix that. Call this damn bluff. So we're on our way to the night, right? And so it's up to Miss PHAEDRA Parks, darling, to tell all the girls about themselves. I don't know much about Angela, but what I do know is she is the oldest young person that I've ever met. Hopefully, her personality is younger than she is. So you trying to say this lady got an old face? You're trying to say this lady got an old face? So when you transformed from what I'm going to find on the internet that's been going around with you being a dark-skinned lady, and now you are turned into a white mannequin, you don't want nobody to say nothing about that, huh? Okay. Now, then we get on the, we ride the plane. Drew is ostracized, except for Angela. Angela's still cool with her, whatever. So, here's Miss PHAEDRA Parks. Where's the beef? Who's got beef? Everybody got beef with Drew. Well, I got beef with Shamia, but I don't have much for anybody else. She's going around besmirching my damn name in these interviews, which is true. Because she, regardless as to what she says, has taken on Porsha's bullshit. And this is why you are lapdog, bitch. Thing. We need a thing. Reset, renew, and rebirth. Well, if I keep saying your toddies, Kelly, then how we gonna reset? Because them titties is out. And I'm tired of looking at them. Every time we go somewhere, sitting in confessional, all you got on is something with diamonds in it and your toddies still hanging out. So good. What? Let me see. Bad dress. So back in the car with PHAEDRA and Angela and Drew. Drew tells them again, Shamia is dragging me in these interviews. Again, she said something about my song, 5 different languages. Shamia, like I said in my last recap, bitch, you special. You are real special if you think she was being done. Ray Charles can see from the grave and through his blindness that she wasn't being fucking literal. That's the question they need to ask you at the reunion. Do you think that she was being literal? So I can get up on this internet if you say yes and drag you down to hell. So the fellas meet the girls at the resort and they're doing their little nasty things on the stilts and whatnot. We're not going to talk a whole lot about that. I'm not going to waste my breath spending a whole lot of time on these rooms. I'm going to go by memory on this. I think I want to say it's Angela and PHAEDRA in the room together. Drew and Cynthia and Shamia and Kelly because they get the best suite. And PORSHA it's PORSHA and Angela. So that's that on it. Now who's in the room with PHAEDRA? Oh, BRIT. Y'all, I forgot about Petty BRIT. That goes to show y'all she has nothing without Kenya Moore. She thought that she was going to be able to come up on this show, get rid of Kenya, and then not have anybody to play off of, and that dynamic went out the window. And she has shown us she has absolutely no personality on her own, because she has to be in conflict. And who is she in conflict with? I guess now that she's gonna come up with some beef with Shamia and Kelly in these last couple of episodes. Maybe that'll bring that mouth out, because child, I forgot she was on this trip. Well, they put Drew in the twin bedroom again, and she arm wrestles Cynthia for the room. So the next day we have Cynthia and Drew, because she gave the room with the king size bed to Cynthia anyway. So that was polite of her. So they go out on the balcony, and here is Cynthia doing that thing that she does that gets on my nerves. Well, it wasn't tit for tat. No, it was tit for tat. Drew filmed with Dennis, and PORSHA filmed with Rhoa. When I tell y'all, I look, it's like, see, that's why you and Nene got into it, saying dumb shit. That don't even make sense. That's not the same thing. Did y'all, throughout this filming, I'm wondering, and this is a serious inquiry. Drop down in the comments and let me know, do y'all think the same thing? Were they thinking that Drew wasn't really, or do they really think that she was messing with old boy Dennis, and that they weren't working on the album? Because maybe this is before we really solidified the information that she was working on the album. Or no. I can't even give them that, because throughout this show, during the interview, Shamia was talking about the love language. So they actually knew that she was working on. I can't read these, and I can't get into the psyche of why they was making these stupid ass accusations. Let me move on to the next thing. Did PORSHA say that Drew hadn't done nothing to nobody but her? What the fuck has she done to her? This goofy heifer. And then Drew and Shamia, it was Taurus.
Like he's very affectionate.
They're Taurus. So, well, we found out that Cynthia's Amsterdam is a Taurus child, and he's different. And he's putting it down and all that good stuff. Oh, this thing is talking wild. Will I go back and edit that out? No, why not? I'm just going to say, when you know what it's saying, if I see it, what it said, it means just provide commentary. So we're going to move right along. Why are we so concerned about who she's dating? That's the part of being a friend of the show. We don't have to really be concerned who she's dating. So being that they have to go back into the past and bring up shit about PHAEDRA that nobody cares about, well, they talking about her, and her mortuary business, and Shamia says she wants to help her embalm her body. And then she say, how's the funeral business going? Oh, the funeral business is just going so fabulously. People are dying to meet Jesus. Well, I guess I did not take that as the way that came out, since how I'm going through what I'm going through with these families and, my best friend. So at that time when I heard that, I was like, what if somebody was going through the same things I'm going through and was watching it? Then they had the audacity to ask this crazy ass woman, has she ever seen a stiff? On a stiff, if you know what I mean. She hadn't ever seen one, because she was like, the body releases different gases and all that type of stuff. Of course, it's the end. So, it's not going to be a situation where it knows how to hold a fart. So we get to the table, and Angela lets us know that it's her anniversary. And so Porsha was like, and you're here? Then the confessor, she was like, she's on a trip with a cast full of divorces. Nobody brought that up about this goofy heifer calling them divorces. Divorce aids. And y'all ain't divorced yet. None of them that I know of. Who's divorced? Who's complete divorced on here? Well, I mean, there's Shamir. Then BRIT. Did y'all see across there say, "Pop, knock on my standing in front of the window"? Did y'all see how? And they got talking about happy ending. And apparently, because they were trying to figure out what did he do, it must have been a masseuse. Apparently, masseuse that provides happy ending. Then PHAEDRA done released all her Southern Belle energy. I want to say it's pay.
With a little man with shades on. Let my drops. It's not.
Because it's not giving for the seeds. Well, where are you getting these happy endings, Kelly? You would want to know, wouldn't you? No, nobody want to know. You probably going down there to Fairmount Crest with old Vanessa over there. Because Vanessa's at the high-end place getting her happy ending. So it don't have to be with a little man in a dark alley with shades on. So now it's time to be producer pick. So Kelly brings up all the beef that's going on that PHAEDRA was talking about. So it seems like it's time to jump on Drew. Drew, you have beef with everybody. Everybody except Cynthia. Now what the hell? When out of this whole season did she have an issue? So let's clear the air, right? So it's time. Since Drew's the problem, everybody has a problem with Drew. Let's make it right. So let's start with Shamir, of all people. Shamir, well, I tried to clear the air with you, and you stood 10 toes down into calling me a lapdog. I said, you better know she stood 10 toes down and one of her proudest moments that I ever seen her do on TV. And then she said, well, Drew said, well, a hit dog will holler. You kept taking misinformation back to PORSHA, especially the thing about me saying that, my music career could help pay for Pilar's college, which again, what is the problem? I see no problem with saying that. So then they asked Drew, did you mean to call her a dog? But she was barking like one. I know that's right. So Drew is under the impression that nothing is real. The beef between she and Shamir is not real. And the beef between her and PORSHA is not real. PORSHA is making these things up in her mind as she goes. 100%. So, finally, it's chime in time for PORSHA. What Shamir is saying is, you shouldn't be calling her a lapdog. She deserves an apology for that. Does she? But she is. So out of, 13 episodes so far? That's your first time speaking up for your friend? Girl, I know you lying. So let's get something straight. It's time for Angela to speak up. Now, speaking of, I was talking about on Beyond the Gacy's reminder of Chicago accents. And that nasal with the beer in the throat. Now that I look on it, Angela has it. But you know, I said Vince's mom was a perfect example. But anyway, so she's like, these are relationships and the information and how it's being brought back. Porsha, I just want you to know that your friend is the one who is airing out her grievances to us. They're not responses. She's telling us the things that you are doing to her, but she's running information back to you about what we say in response. That's what's going on. Nobody's trying to interrupt your friendship. I know that's right. You better tell them. I guess, you know, with all of your wisdom, since everybody thinks you way older than what you are. Well, if that's the case, and you are way older than what everybody thinks you are, then you are the most mature at the table. Shout out to Cynthia really being older than everybody. And shout out to you, PHAEDRA, Southern Bell Parks. You know damn well you older than that lady. So finally, Kelly asked a good question. Porsha, do you think you've been a good friend to Shamir? Me and Shamir have had our conversations. But you said to come to you and ask you, have you been a good friend to her? Hell no, I haven't. But you think I'm going to give you the satisfaction of saying that in front of you? Because I got to keep her on my string as my little puppy. As my kiss my motherfucking lap dog, bitch. So you are kind of interrupting things. You acting like a real friend to her. And I ain't liking it. I like for her to be my lap dog. Well, Kelly says, well, if you guys have moved past it, then all of us should be able to move past it as well. Shamir gets in a confession. Ooh, I'm so glad that my best friend, so Porsha's husband, was over there taking up for me. Yahoo! So, after they acknowledge that Porsha has had growth because she decided that and that is growth for Porsha. You know, saying that she didn't handle things the best way at Shamir's event. But then she rolls back into blaming Drew as if she didn't have something to do with Drew saying that she was dating Future. Are you okay? This girl is Looney Tunes for real. That girl never would have mentioned Future had you not been talking about Black. And that's a fact, Jack. Are you okay? You're not okay. I see that. Special. Hashtag. As my children's father used to say. Well, how would you feel if I said you mess with Ralph after your meeting? Like you've been doing me with Dennis. I know that's right. Now you know damn well that I wasn't messing with Dennis. At no point. It was a business thing. I'm still not getting it. Even with this being homemade beef, I don't know how Porsha contorted herself into little bitty pieces and twisted herself and reached for the stars and figured out a way to accuse Drew of Dennis and his fat belly. R. Kelly. So finally, she gets the crystal and it's passed down to Drew, and Drew's like, you know, I should have came to you and told you that Dennis and I was working together on this album, but you knew. And yeah, she had to say that on her breath. Because she did know. Everybody knows that Porsha knew. No, it was about you having him come to work with you on this show behind my back. It wasn't behind your back. We don't have to get permission to film together on this show because I'm a fucking housewife, bitch. Now, she broke the fourth wall, but I wish Drew had broken the fourth wall and said just what I just said. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get on back to the situation at hand. Now, BRIT has to speak up, and this is for y'all. Now, out of place, as usual. PHAEDRA, I just want you to know that Apollo was at my last event, and he's a friend of my husband. I just knew that because I wanted you to get things out on the table. PHAEDRA looking at her like, okay. I don't give a fuck. I ain't with that dude. However, here's a clue. Scooby-Doo. When she was around there over there on Married to Medicine, she did have a problem with people filming with him and being on the show and being cool with him. So maybe that's why Dumb BRIT thought she should let her know that he has appeared up on the show at some of her events. And y'all, that's the end of the episode. I don't have anything else to do with that right there. Let's wrap it on up. Let's get on to this reunion. Don't play no more episodes after this. Nah, I'm just kidding, because, we got to wrap it up in Grenada, and we really want to find out what happened between Big BRIT and little bitty Kelly. Are we about to have another small versus tall? Let's see. Who would be a tall? Let's see. That would be, I don't know, because the group is very divided, as we can see on these after shows. So I don't know who would be a tall, because you have Cynthia, who's neutral. And basically when Cynthia was a tall head, she was neutral. But that's neither here nor there. Come on in, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell button, and you will be notified when I upload a video. Remember to check my community tab. That's where the GoFundMe is for the McClear coffee housewife. I'm sorry, not housewife. House fire. GoFundMe is from, the people that I knew, PTO mom to PTO mom, and, that was my daughter's friend. So give what you can, or even give generously if you can. Whatever you can is going to be appreciated. And you can give on the GoFundMe, my GoFundMe, DMCLAY, for my godson. And with that, I'm going to close. And as I do when I close, I'm going to chalk them up. Deuces.